McGregor did. It's really a trick. He gets these people to box with him. They have no business boxing with him, and he's making millions and millions of dollars doing this way after his competitive career is over. He's that money. That money has to keep coming in if you're going to live like this.
It's absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
Once
broke?
Again, come on. Fighters like that always go broke.
Because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values.
There was absolutely no holding back when Joe Rogan went after Floyd Mayweather, raising serious doubts about those bold claims of owning 60 buildings worth $42 million. The numbers sound impressive, but according to multiple reliable sources, they just don't add up. Behind the flashy lifestyle and headline-grabbing statements, critics argue that much of what Mayweather promotes about his wealth is overstated. The image of a massive financial empire may look convincing on the surface, but dig a little deeper, and it starts to seem far less solid than it appears. What's being presented as success and dominance could actually be built on shaky ground, more illusion than reality, fueled by exaggeration and carefully crafted narratives.
Boxed up by literally the greatest boxer of all time. Floyd was just boxing him up, which is what he does. So that's what's interesting is Floyd's making more money than anybody, and he's boxing people who have no chance of beating him. It doesn't even hurt his record. Also money. He needs that money. That money has to keep coming in if you're going to live like this.
It's not that expensive though, but
he's only 46. But he does this with everything, man. He's got $1 million watches.
I don't think he buys every pair.
You think they give them to him?
Yeah. Because then you get a video like that.
Right. That's smart.
And then you get Floyd's Air Force Ones given away for charity. That's a tax write-off. There's all sorts of things that goes
Yeah, you got a good point. But those $1 million watches, they're not giving you.
Over time, Floyd underwent a noticeable transformation, shifting from a fan-friendly, action-packed fighter into the persona known as Money Mayweather. Joe Rogan pointed out that somewhere along the way, the passion for putting on thrilling performances seemed to take a backseat, replaced by a stronger focus on maximizing profits. According to Rogan, this change also came with a shift in attitude, as Floyd began prioritizing financial gain over entertainment, all while showing less respect toward the opponents he shared the ring with.
From being like a real exciting pressure fighter, and he had a bunch of hand problems, to like Money Mayweather, start talking, just boxing people's faces off. No more hand problems, much more money.
Yeah, I love what he's doing too, beating up these YouTube guys.
It's great.
I love it.
It's so funny that these guys are willing to get beat up by him.
Well, I think they're all delusional.
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I show you, when I show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million.
Joe Rogan has also emphasized that Floyd's legacy isn't defined purely by his skill in the ring, but heavily by the massive fortune attached to his name. There's no denying he stands among the most recognized figures the sport has ever produced. But that fame often comes hand in hand with discussions about money just as much as his performances. Rogan didn't stop there. When the idea of Floyd stepping into MMA came up, he dismissed it outright, suggesting that the outcome wouldn't be competitive. In his view, the skill set that made Floyd dominant in boxing wouldn't translate well into a completely different combat environment. Moments like this highlight a broader conversation, one where even experienced analysts question how far Floyd's abilities would stretch beyond the sport where he built his reputation.
6 to 8 months to train. He's screwed. First of all, they should give him everything they can get their greasy paws on to get him to fight Conor in an MMA fight.
You'd be screwed.
It's not just getting screwed. Like someone said it should be 1,000 to 1. That's not high enough. It's not high enough. If Conor McGregor was going to fight Floyd Mayweather in MMA, it is as close to 100% as anything ever gets ever. He's probably going to punch Conor in the face a couple of times. It's probably going to suck, but Conor's going to get a hold of him. And then he's going to be like a baby. And if that doesn't happen, he'll kick Floyd's legs out from under him. He'll kick his legs sideways. He'll kick them from the outside. He'll kick them from the inside. He'll stay way the way from any sort of a range where Floyd can punch him. It'll be a complete...
In another story that caught attention, Joe Rogan brought up a wild moment involving Floyd's level of control, claiming that he once had the authority to dismiss a referee right in the middle of a fight. Rogan used the example to underline just how much sway Floyd carries within the sport. According to him, that kind of move isn't something an average fighter could even dream of. It takes someone operating at the absolute peak of boxing, where fame, power, and influence collide. It's not just about skill in the ring anymore. It's about the leverage that comes with being a global superstar. Situations like this further reinforce the idea that Floyd's financial success doesn't just sit in the background. It actively shapes the environment around him, affecting everything from decisions to the way his career unfolds.
Behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100% correct. The punch landed the side of the head. It's a right hook. It's a perfect punch. And the referee was saying, watch the back of the head. He's like, what the are you talking about? And so he kicks the guy out, and they bring in a different referee who finishes the fight. It was insane.
Joe Rogan has suggested that Floyd's relentless drive can be traced back to the environment he grew up in. With both his father and uncle known for their intense competitive mindset, he was raised in a culture where pushing limits wasn't optional. It was expected. That early influence played a major role in shaping him into the elite fighter fans witnessed during his peak years. His discipline, focus, and refusal to lose were all products of that upbringing. But that same edge didn't stay confined to the ring. It appears to have carried over into his life outside of boxing as well, influencing the way he chases financial success and handles business, turning everything into a competition of its own.
When you get hit versus how often do you hit the other guy, he's the best ever. The way him and his uncle and his father talk, I imagine they were always super competitive from the time they were young.
Yeah.
Like he grew up being they're super competitive. They're competitive about talking shit. They're competitive about all kinds of things. So it's like that hive, like growing up with that all the time, and the boxing.
Floyd has at times boasted that he rakes in $3 million every single month, even going so far as to suggest he earns more than Bill Gates. On the surface, it's the kind of claim that grabs attention and leaves fans in awe. But for those who understand the ins and outs of boxing paydays and pay-per-view revenue, such numbers start to look far less believable. Industry experts have repeatedly called these claims into question, noting that the figures simply don't hold up under scrutiny and are far more fantasy than reality.
He makes $300 million a month, which is $3.6 billion a year. He makes more money than Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, all of those guys. So I say all that to say this. The money that Canelo was looking for, they can easily come up with that money. Floyd Mayweather got it.
Well, listen, let me put it this way to you. If he makes what did he say, $300 million a month?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm 6'4" and 240. And I know I'm 5'8" and a half and 240. So there you go. There's no way. If he makes $3 million a month on his investments, that's a lot. $36 million a year. That's a lot. So I know guys that are worth, $500-600 million, plenty of them, and they don't make $36 million a year, let alone $300 million a month. So
Floyd has consistently made it clear that money isn't just important to him. It's at the very heart of his life. He's expressed a desire for his children to walk the same path, following in his footsteps, and continuing the same financial ventures. His stated goal is building wealth that lasts for generations, a legacy that goes beyond his own career. However, this mindset hasn't come without backlash. Critics argue that his intense focus on money often overshadows other values, painting him as someone who puts financial gain above character and integrity.
Building generational wealth. Even like when my children, all four of my children are adults. And I told them, no more handouts. Because I feel like I'm hurting my children just by, I give them money, they go shopping, they put gas in their car, they party, they come back, I need money. I give them money, I buy them houses, I buy them cars. I told them, listen, if you guys go to school or you work in one of my businesses, then you can branch off, get your own business, and I'll put the money up to help you start a business, but I need you guys to take what I've already started and triple and double that, and then I need my grandchildren to come behind you guys and do the same.
Even with his staggering income, Floyd hasn't escaped controversy over debts allegedly owed to fellow fighters. One of the most talked about cases involves rapper 50 Cent, who accused Floyd of taking advantage of him for $2 million while he was behind bars. According to 50 Cent, Floyd had asked him to handle a promotional deal during his time in jail. The rapper put up the money, expecting it to be managed responsibly. But once Floyd was released, 50 Cent claims he acted as if he had no knowledge of the arrangement, leaving the investment and trust unfulfilled.
I brought him over while Floyd was, still incarcerated.
Yeah.
Then he comes home. There's the Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign that goes on, where it's $300,000 chains being bought and buying him the new Lamborghini and all these new things, and I'm sitting there going, yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you had already invested.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back? But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when? But see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardlessly.
Right.
So I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he gonna say he wants to, to give me the other half of it? Why I gotta ask you for it?
Right.
And then when
are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, invested in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that.
Oh, man.
And I'm looking at him, and he looked in my face.
50 Cent didn't stop with just one revelation. He went on to say that a lot of people within Floyd's inner circle actually harbor negative feelings toward him. According to the rapper, Floyd's intense focus on money overshadows other qualities, and he often neglects the fundamental values that earn lasting respect. 50 Cent also claimed that Floyd has a habit of flaunting his wealth and status, creating an image that's hard for anyone to admire beyond his accomplishments in the ring. The persona he projects, it seems, can be as divisive as it is impressive.
Money's really gone.
Yeah, that's what you think. It's get the money, spend the money.
All that money.
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like within lifestyle, that money's gone. Trust me. Now it's like you call him, he'll be at your local hosting in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
Do you think he'll step back in the ring?
Floyd's money-related controversies extend beyond just his longtime peers. Even internet star Logan Paul stepped forward, claiming that he's still owed payment following their high-profile exhibition match, despite the massive attention the fight drew and the millions it generated. Logan alleges that Floyd hasn't settled the full amount owed to him. Incidents like this reinforce the perception that Floyd's approach to finances is intensely profit-driven, sometimes crossing the line into controversy and leaving a trail of disputes in its wake.
Name another boxer besides myself that's more famous than Logan Paul.
Tyson Fury.
What? I want you to look up Tyson Fury, how many followers, and look up how many followers Logan Paul has.
Logan Paul, 56 million. Tyson Fury, 4 million.
So 50 compared to 4 something. I can fight a fighter right now, guarantee myself 35 million. Or me and Logan Paul can go out and entertain and have fun and make 100 million or more. So if you were me, you gotta look at 35 million for 12 rounds and 100 for 6 rounds.
Even boxing legend Oscar de la Hoya has weighed in on Floyd's financial habits. He suggests that Floyd's occasional returns to the ring aren't just for sport. They're driven by a continued need for money. The De La Hoya points out a common pattern among fighters. Huge earnings paired with equally enormous spending often lead to financial trouble. Looking at Floyd's extravagant lifestyle, luxury cars, designer wardrobes, and private jets, it's easy to see why De La Hoya's concerns carry weight.
Another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen.
Floyd has repeatedly made the news for his jaw-dropping spending habits. Among his most talked about purchases is a watch valued at $18 million. And he claims to own countless others, each costing tens of thousands. While these displays of wealth certainly turn heads, they also raise questions about sustainability. Even for someone with Floyd's fortune, the sheer scale of his extravagance sparks debate over whether living at such a level can realistically be maintained over time.
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. 18 life.
That happy birthday, champ. That's how we doing. That is sick, dude.
But you gotta show him what he say.
Money green.
No,
Hold on. This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd Money Mayweather. 101 piece.
One of one.
Money team. Can we see it on him? Yes, sir.
That one of one.
$1.8 million.
It's a one of one. I love that.
Joe Rogan was quick to weigh in on the spectacle of Floyd versus Conor McGregor, calling it more of a cash grab than a legitimate sporting contest. Although Floyd had officially retired, he made a comeback for an eye-popping $100 million payday in what was essentially an exhibition match. For a man who never shies away from discussing his wealth, this event served as a prime example of how he converts fame directly into fortune, turning public interest into one more massive payday.
Correct. You wanted no extensions. That's one thing.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
that's one thing.
Okay. What was one of them? The ability to box?
One of them was the ability to box. They said that wasn't an option. Boxing is dead. It's not possible. This and that.
Now, what does that feel like to you, knowing that Conor McGregor did it and fought Floyd Mayweather and made $100 million?
Yes, gentlemen, let's do this.
Nah. A bitch, nigga, that's that shit I don't like. Nah. Sneak this that's that shit I don't like.
Floyd has always worn his confidence on his sleeve, never hesitating to boast about his achievements. He frequently claims that no other boxer in history has matched what he's accomplished. While that self-assurance has become a key part of his persona and brand, it also comes with a flip side. Constantly measuring himself against others draws attention, and not all of it is positive, inviting skepticism and criticism alongside the admiration.
Like I'm separated now. You know, I don't think there's no boxer in history that has accomplished what I've accomplished. Not bragging or boasting, just speaking the truth. I take my hat off to a lot of legendary champions, you know, that paved the way for me to be where I'm at in the sport of boxing. But that was their era, and this is my era. Had a tremendous career. And we got young fighters that's on the rise, that's under our banner. The ultimate goal is to find the next Floyd Mayweather.
That wraps up today's video. Make sure to stick around for the next one.